Hello, everybody. It's Maya Joy KahNah. Welcome back. In today's video, I would like to speak about the amazing peace and joy and bliss that can come from accepting that what is what is meant to be. Now, listen, I have had the amazing opportunity to connect with thousands of souls from all over the world and to be a part of their paths, and I just want to say thank you to everyone who has worked with me. After so many years of this, what I have observed is that often, so often, it is the idea that what is unfolding in one's life is incorrect in some way. It's the idea or belief that things are otherwise than what they should be that causes the greatest suffering and the greatest sense of disease in our lives. And so often people come to me because they really believe that what is going on in their life is wrong in some way. People may be in a job and they're telling themselves, this is not the job that I'm meant to be in. Or a person could be single and they're telling themselves, this is not correct. I am meant to be in this or that type of relationship at this time, or any other number of other similar sorts of situations. And I have observed that often, like when I connect with, if not always, like when I connect with that person's higher guidance, with their team of guides, angels, and the divine beings who support them, their divine team always seems to be able to explain to that person, to that soul, exactly why what is unfolding in their life in that moment is actually absolutely the most perfect set of circumstances based on their soul's journey and their development and evolution. And after so many years of this, I have just come to realize that sometimes what needs to change are not the circumstances in our life. It's not like our job or our health or our relational status or our financial status, but rather what might be the best thing to change is the way that we relate to that which is currently unfolding in our life. And in my own journey, I've realized that the more I tell myself that things are different than they're meant to be, or that things should be changing, the worse that I feel. And the more that I accept that, whatever is taking place in my life in this moment, whatever circumstances are there, whatever feelings are there, whatever thoughts are in my head, whatever the current experience of my physical body, my relationship, my work status, but everything else, that it is correct for me at this time on my path, the more at ease that I become with my experience and the more that everything around me begins to flow in a more harmonious way. I think when we tell ourselves things are not how they're meant to be, however we're telling ourselves that, we're ultimately in a state of resistance where we're almost like fighting against the reality that is around us. And I think that that can lead us a lot of times into feelings of self-judgment because we're telling ourselves, my life should be this way, but it isn't. Therefore, I am a failure, or I am not as good as this person or that. It can lead us to feelings of self-judgment. It can lead us to profound feelings of criticism. It can cause us to, I think when we tell ourselves, like, often that life should be a certain way, it's because we're comparing to somebody else's incarnation. It's like, look at that person over there and their life is flowing in this way or that way. My life should be the same. But I think as I've matured in my own soul journey, I've realized that every soul's blueprint is so perfectly designed for that particular soul's needs. It's absolutely, actually, completely outrageous to compare two souls, even though, in a very logical sense, in a very material-based sense, a lot of, scientific studies and things like that, they will compare, say, people of the same gender, of the same age, and say, okay, well, this is a 45-year-old woman, and living in the Midwest, and this is a 45-year-old woman living in the Midwest. So these two women should both have reached this level of health or this level of psychological development or financial development or whatever else. And over time, as I used to really respect studies like that, but then the more that I learned about each soul's blueprint and the very, very unique experience of every soul's journey, the more I realized that this lifetime that we're in, even if you've been here for 45 years or even 70 years, or God bless if you've only been here for, say, 20 or 30 years, this is the smallest sample size of your soul's journey. The circumstances that you find yourself in now are part of a huge, huge journey that your soul has taken, and a massive, massive tapestry. And you can't just look at this, you can't look at your life up until this point and really think that you understand, from just that little snippet, where you should be, or even, I think, in many cases, where you're going. Our journeys as souls are so immensely vast and so sacred and so rich in so many different experiences. And yet we are not able to, at this moment in reality, we're not actually permitted to view all of the experiences of our soul and really see everywhere we've been and everywhere where we're going. But I think that we must trust a little bit more than we ever have before, especially with the circumstances on the planet at this time, that what we are experiencing right now in our life is the most perfect expression of what is needed to complete that soul tapestry in this moment. I have rarely, if ever, found that any person, any soul is truly off their path. I've done these, 6,000 readings at this point, and it's very, very rare to ever find that any soul, I don't think it's ever happened that I've ever found that any soul was like, oh no, you were meant to be doing all this, and this, and everything's meant to be this way, but actually it's this way in your life. That just simply doesn't happen. I think that there is a divine order beyond our greatest imagination that is at play all across the planet. And I think where we get a little bit confused, we get a little bit discombobulated, is that we try to understand the perfection of this creation with our logical minds, with our physical human brain minds. And I actually don't think that that's possible. Our minds are not, our physical human minds, we're not actually designed to be able to understand this divine phenomenon. I think our human minds were designed to be able to help us mitigate the experience of interacting with regular day-to-day physical reality. So our brains were designed to be able to help us, see, feel, smell, taste, that kind of stuff. They were not designed to help us be able to comprehend the mysteries of the universe. Our physical minds were not designed for that. And I know that that can be frustrating, especially for people that are very analytical or very intelligent. We want to understand. We want to explain it and be able to say, this is why, like, this exact thing is happening in my life, or this is why it makes sense. But sometimes that's just not going to happen. Sometimes it will happen. You might have a moment of enlightenment, a moment where you reach that state of meditation, and for that instant you're able to glimpse the perfection of reality. But in the day-to-day, if you can just trust that what is going on in your life is not something that's going wrong. It's really not. Like, so many times, like, the outside can tell us, you should be this way, or things should be this way in your life, or you should look this way, you should have this much money, you should be in this kind of relationship. Why? Who says so? Like, who says that that's how it should be? What should be in your life is exactly what is. And it is my sense, it is my growing sense, that the thoughts that are in your head are the thoughts that are meant to be there. And the feelings that are sitting there in your chest and that you experience are part of the equation too. It's all part of the equation of the perfection of the tapestry that is your life. And I'm not saying just accept everything that's going on in your life, and if you're in a toxic situation, just allow that situation to continue. But I'm saying accept that if you are in a toxic situation and you're having a lot of feelings that it's a toxic situation, and thoughts that it's a toxic situation, and that you'd like to make the change, accept that that's all, including all the feelings that you have about the situation, are part of your perfect unfolding tapestry of your life, and trust that all that's existing in your reality are the ideal circumstances to help you become more and more of who you truly are, and to help you evolve your soul. And that your environment your life circumstances are not meant to necessarily look like that which you see in the movie, or that which you see in Better Homes and Gardens or whatever else, but that they are absolutely perfect for you, like in this moment, for your needs. And I hope, like, as I'm expressing that those who are listening can hopefully begin to experience their life in this way. It's a little hard to put this all into words. I've been wanting to share this message for a while. I'm so blessed because when I do my readings, for the time that I'm doing them, I'm actually able to look at that particular soul's journey and correspond with that particular soul's guides and angels and see the perfection from a higher state of consciousness, to be able to see the perfection of all that's unfolding. Sometimes I'm in that frequency in the reading, and then, the reading ends. A couple of minutes later, it might be hard to grasp that frequency again. But what I can tell you is that your life is not wrong. You are not wrong. The way things are in your life are not a mistake. You are right where you are meant to be. There was a tremendous amount of care that was put into the planning of this moment in your life and this incarnation in your life that you're having, like in this particular lifetime. So much care was put into this. And we are not abandoned in these incarnations and left to make a mess of our life experiences. Not a moment is ever wasted. And even though our logical minds may not be able to understand how that is so, our souls know that is true. And those who have really touched higher states of consciousness and who have gone to the other side, and many people who have died and come back again, they all report that when they were in that soul state of consciousness, they knew that absolutely every single moment, every single instant, every second, every word that was said, every sight that was seen in their life was exactly as it was meant to be. And to me, like, in times like this, reminding ourselves of that is one of the greatest things that we can do to return to a state of bliss, to return to a state of peace. And ultimately, my wish for all of you who are listening is that you can take that pressure off of yourself and really be at ease with yourself and with your life's journey, and to accept all that is occurring around you and the circumstances in your life as a perfect part of your soul's journey, so that you can begin to actually extrapolate from the circumstances that you are naturally in the absolute greatest benefit for your soul's development and evolution. Because when we're resisting what is around us, we often miss opportunities for growth and evolution, because we're so distracted on trying to change that we're not seeing the gift of what is in our life right at that time. So I encourage all of you, if you're feeling open to this, to begin to play with this energy of acceptance in your life. To maybe, just for a time, let go of the idea that things are different than they should be, and welcome in the idea that everything is exactly as it's meant to be in your life. And from that place of acceptance, to begin seeing the richness and blessings and having gratitude for all that is around you, knowing that even if it doesn't make exact logical sense to your physical mind, that it is in perfect order for your soul. So anyway, I hope that everybody who's listening has gotten something out of this message today. More than anything else, I hope that at least you've all benefited from the frequency, and I just want you to know that I haven't forgotten about you, and that I am sending you all love, support, encouragement as you navigate your journeys, and as you come more fully into who you are, and as you develop and grow your soul. We really are all in this together. We are all in this together. Earth is a very special place for us to practice, to share, to commune, to learn, and to grow. And I really feel that everything is unfolding exactly as it is meant to. So I hope you guys can feel that too. Sending so much love to all of you. Many blessings, and namaste.